Hello, YouTube. I'm back again. This time we're going to look at my entire collection of collected editions and graphic novels. And you'll see why I say the and graphic novels thing later on. So I've actually got them separated into piles here. And I'm going to start with the pile I've labelled as Other. These are collected editions graphic novels that I've got that have been published by companies that are, sorry, I just realised I'm going to put those back. Companies that are other than the big two. The big two, of course, being Marvel and DC. So we'll start off with my modest collection of 4 books by Image Comics, who are probably quite well known. First one being Saga, Volume 1. I'm in the market to try and pick up the rest of these, so I've just started reading this one and it is very good. I'm not going to put that there, that would be a bad idea, Jamie, you moron. Then we have the first 2 volumes of Paper Girls, so there's Paper Girls Volume 1. And again, I've just started reading this and it is quite good. We also have Paper Girls Volume 2. Both of which I actually picked up in the same second-hand shop at the same time. I then have also by Image, I haven't actually started reading this one yet, but I'm going to. Witches, and that's Witches spelt, excuse me, Wytches, Volume 1. And the last one by Image I have is Trees, Volume 1, or number 1, whatever you want to say. Next up I have 3 books published by a company called Boombox, the first of which, and they are all, I believe, hold on, sorry, first are actually, the first one is Volume 1 of a series called Lumberjanes, yeah, Lumberjanes Volume 1, again, to put this up with the same second hand shop I picked the last ones up in, just happened to be there, so they're all for a really good price. I think I got them all for like less than a £5, if I remember rightly. They were that cheap. Lumberjanes Volume 2, again published by Boombox. And the final one by Boombox is called Giant Days Volume 1. Then I have, next in the other pile, I have 2 books by a company called Vertigo. One is Sweet Tooth Volume 1. Looks kind of like me on a bad day. And then the other one by Vertigo is one that I feel everyone will have heard of at this point, and it is The Sandman by Neil Gaiman. Volume 1, or Part 1, or whatever you want to call it. Next up in other, I literally chucked this here because it is technically a collected edition of some of this company's greatest books from the year of 1987. I say greatest, it's a collection of some of their comic books released, some of their like comic books from 87 and classic, other classic comics they printed featuring their characters from 1987. Printed and published in Great Britain by DC Thompson and Co. Limited. That should give you an idea of what it is. Yes, it is the Beano book from 1987. I literally put it in this video because I had no, because it is technically, I mean the Beano is technically, as you can see, a comic book, but I had no idea of where to put this, so I put it in this video. Next up another, we have Black Crown Omnibus, published by IDW. And it just says Black Crown Omnibus. There we go. Next up another, we have what is basically a tome. It's also, you know, a book I've been reading quite a lot just recently, and it is the Simon and Kirby Superheroes collection by Titan Books. And of course Simon and Kirby are in fact Joe Simon and Jolly Jack Kirby, and it has an introduction by Neil Gaiman. I believe this is Volume 1. But I could be wrong on that. This is from the Simon and Kirby library. And here it is. Simon and Kirby Superheroes. Joe Simon, Jack Kirby, the introduction by Neil Gaiman. Very good. Anyone out there that, you know, hasn't even an passing interest in Jack Kirby's work, pick that up. Next up, oh god, I'll have to show part of my another part of my anorak here. I'm a sort of a crime thriller enthusiast, and I was able to find this in my LCS. It's the Mammoth Book of Best Crime Comics, published by Robinson. So yeah, anything like this I would definitely pick up, because that's just me. I love a good crime thriller, true crime documentary, all that kind of thing. Next up, from Kaboom, we have, I believe based on a Cartoon Network series, Steven Universe, Volume 1. Again, it's part of that same charity shop lot. Then I have, again from that same charity shop, Sin City, number 6, apparently. Wait, what? I didn't read that. It says number 6 on the side. Booze, Broads and Bullets. Oh, this isn't even number 1. So obviously I've jumped the gun here, because it was in the charity shop. Very good price. This is a 4th edition. Obviously printed by Dark Horse Comic Books, because it's Sin City, but yeah. This is number 6. This is technically volume 6. Or, you know. Anyway, Sin City, number 6. Volume 6, whatever you want to call it, by Frank Miller. How teach me to pick them up without bloody looking, won't it? The next one I actually picked up in a cafe that's local to me, which is a Christian cafe and bookshop. And the reason I picked this up was because I was sat there a few weeks ago with my other half and a friend of ours having a coffee, well, tea in my case, and sitting there drinking my tea, and I'm looking over the books in the kids area, and this particular one caught my eye, and I'm thinking, is that what I think? Purely based on what I could see on the front, I'm thinking, is that what I think it is? Because I could see that it said Bible on the front. I'm thinking, is that what I think it is? Is that really? So I said to my other half and my friend, I'm just going to get a look at that book over there. Went and had a look, and sure enough, it was exactly what I thought it was. It's called The Action Bible, and it is literally the Bible printed and told as a comic book. I mean, I have no idea what story that is, but yeah, the Bible printed and told as a comic book. I mean, yeah, I'm not a particularly religious person, or at all, really, but if this had been around when I was a kid, then this, I can tell you now, this would have been the Bible that my family gave me, and I would have read it cover to cover several times. So, yeah, the Bible is a comic book. Not something I ever thought they would have done, but they have. So, and that's my copy. So there we go. Next up, we have, and this is why I put the graphic novels in the title, because there's a couple of these coming up. Graphic novels, that's why I said graphic novels at the top of this. This is Star Trek Graphic Novel Collection, Countdown. It says here, Star Trek Volume 1, Star Trek, Countdown. So, yeah. Yes, I'm a bit of a Trekkie. Oh, God, it's up against that. There we go. Next one, we have Archie's. We're still in Other. We've got 2 more in Other. The first one is this one. Archie's Big Book. Magic, Music and Mischief. It's written the Teenage Witch, Josie and the Pussycats, and Little Archie. Yes, printed, also published by Archie's Comics. And there's actually a warning in the front of this, which I love. And it says at the bottom here, bottom of the page, this book, actually, can I show you? This book contains, oh, you can't really read it, I'll read it for you. This book contains some material that was originally created. This book contains some material that was originally created in a less socially sensitive time in our society and reflects attitudes that may be interpreted as being unacceptable today. The stories are reprinted here without alteration for historical reference. Boy, was I glad to read that they hadn't altered the story, hadn't altered them in any way to fit in more with society. Because they were printed back in a, as I said there, in a socially, more, what was it they used? More socially, less socially sensitive time. So, and they shouldn't have to alter them, because they are reprinting our comic books. You're not going to go censoring them. You're just not. really. Well, you might do. If you're Marvel or DC, you might do. But, you know. The last one I have was published by Dark Horse. And it's another graphic novel, and me and my other half love this series. We can't wait to start the new season when it comes out soon. And this is based on the short story by Andrzej Sapkowski. I butchered that name, but I'm terribly sorry. It's The Witcher, A Grain of Truth. And my favourite line in this so far is he ends up in this castle place. And this beast says to him, "Be gone." And he says, "I'm lost." And the beast says to him, "Very well, mortal, speak. What do you want? What do you want? What brings you here?" And Geralt replies, "Got lost." And the beast replies with, "Got lost, you say? Then get found. Follow your arse. Follow your arse. It's pointing the way." I love that. Then just get found. Then I shush you, get found again. Follow your arse. It's pointing the way. So that's The Witcher, A Grain of Truth. That's what I classed as other. Now we're going to Marvel and DC, starting with Marvel. And starting with my collection of 5 collected editions, all related to the Fantastic Four. Starting with Mighty Marvel Masterworks Fantastic Four by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, Volume 1. And this covers issues 1 through 10 of the original Fantastic Four from the 1960s. Yes. Next up, we have Fantastic Four by Stan Lee and Mighty Marvel Masterworks. The Fantastic Four, I think these were still Stan Lee and Jack Kirby at the time. Volume 2, containing, focusing on, which features issues 1. This is Volume 2, so you have issue... I'm sorry. This is issue 2, Volume 2. Dear God, Volume 2, and so it covers issues 11 through 20 and Fantastic Four Annual Number 1. Can I just say I love these things, because these are a great way for people like me who are never going to be able to afford original single issues of these books, these actual comics featured in these, to read these older books. And also, these are the perfect size for me to take on the train when me and my other half go to see her dad. So, yeah. Part of that's quite a long train journey, but yeah. So, Volume 2. And then, of course, we have Mighty Marvel Masterworks Fantastic Four Volume 3, covering issues 21 through 29. And it stops there. I don't even know if there was the number 4. Every time I go into my LCS now, I'm looking desperately, but I can't find the number 4. This one I picked up in what used to be W.H. Smith's in my town. It's now J.B. Jones or something. When the did that happen? I'm sorry, but I've got to ask this. I'm hoping someone can tell me in the comments below. But when the fuck? When in the living fuck when the hell? I mean, you know, suddenly I turned around one day, went to my local shop, and suddenly they said J.B. Jones was something about the dog, what used to be W.H. Smith, and I'm thinking, when the fuck did that happen? If you know when that change happened, please let me know in the comments below. But I got this book, and I think it was the last thing I actually managed to buy in there while it was still W.H. Smith. And it's Fantastic Four by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, The Coming of Galactus, which of course contains Fantastic Four Annual Number 3, and then Fantastic Four 1961 issues 44 to 51, which of course gives you the whole Galactus story. Couldn't resist that, because took this out at a reduced price. And then next up, and the last in the Fantastic Four line anyway, unless you go into my single issues which are back there, is Fantastic Four by John Byrne, Marvel Omnibus, Fantastic Four by John Byrne, Volume 1. Here it is. It's an absolute tome. It's very heavy. Yeah. So this collects stories from Marvel Team Up 1972. That's issues 61 through 62. Marvel 2 in 1, issue 50. Fantastic Four 1961, issues 209 to 28. I'm going to put this down and start that again because I don't know whether you could hear me. So this book features stories and issues from Marvel Team Up 1972. That's issues 61 and 62. Marvel 2 in 1, issue 50. Fantastic Four 1961, issues 209 to 218, and then 220 to 221. And then 220, and then 232 to 260. And Annual 17. And then Avengers 1963, issue 233, and The Thing 1983, issue 2, which I think I have a single issue of. Do I? Don't I? I'm not certain. I do have a few issues of the thing in this box, which you can't see because it's off camera. This is a box of Fantastic Four single issues. But yeah, so I love Fantastic Four, as I'm sure this will tell you. So yeah, next up we have that I picked up in... I actually think I got that online from Amazon. That one. Yeah, it was an Amazon purchase. This one I got in my LCS. It is Marvel Master... Not the Mighty Marvel Masterworks, because that's the smaller ones. But this is Marvel Masterworks, The Incredible Hulk, Volume 1. The Incredible Hulk numbers 1 through 6 by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby with Steve Ditko, apparently. At the bottom, it says there at the bottom. Can you see? So yeah, this covers, as it says, issues 1 through 6 of The Incredible Hulk. So the first 6 issues, of course, including Incredible Hulk number 1. And it even has all the original covers in there as well. There is also a Mighty Marvel Masterworks version of this, which obviously is quite a lot smaller and not hardback, but paperback, and features that there as the front cover, of course, which is the front cover of the original Incredible Hulk number 1. Next up, another one that I got in my LCS. This is Spider-Man Back in Black Volume 1, as I've since come to learn. They had it at a reduced price, much reduced price, so I was pleased to pick that up in my LCS, because I love Spider-Man and I love anything to do with him in the black suit. So, yeah. Next up we have one that I got from a friend, and it is Marvel Platinum, the definitive Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu. I believe that's him, isn't it? Master of Kung Fu. I've got a load of Shang-Chi single issues, so to be able to get a definitive edition of Shang-Chi is like, yeah. And it says here that one of the writers here is listed as CM Punk. I'm wondering if that is the CM Punk. As in, you know, wrestling CM Punk. God, wasn't Monday Night Raw good? No! Stick to the topic, Jamie. This is about comic books, not WWE. Sorry. Shang-Chi. Okay. Then that was actually one of 2 that I got from the friend. This was another one that I got from that same friend, and it is... What? Is this the other one I got from my friend? Oh, now Jamie begins to doubt. And he thinks, was it one of the other ones? This is where Jamie begins to doubt and thinks, was it one of the other ones? I'm pretty sure this is one I got from one of the other ones I got from my friend. It's either I got this one from my friend, or it's another one, and it is somewhere, and I've forgotten which one it was. Was it this one? Hold on. Sorry. Jamie is now questioning himself. But, no, I'm pretty sure it was this one, the one I got from my friend. It is, What If Miles Morales? So, Spider-Man, Miles Morales. What if Miles Morales was this, or this? Yeah. This one is one that I actually got years ago. It's been in my collection for years and it's never left my collection. This is Marvel Platinum, the definitive... Let's see if you can guess when I got this. Deadpool. Yeah, it's around about the time of the first movie. Love the Deadpool movies. Still need to see Deadpool Wolverine. It's on Disney Plus. I have Disney Plus. I still need to watch the bloody thing. So yeah, Deadpool. Next up we have Marvel Comics, The Essential Spider-Man Volume 1. Which contains Amazing Fantasy 15, Amazing Spider-Man issues 1 through 20, and Amazing Spider-Man Annual 1. So this is Volume 1. And it should be pointed out that these are brilliant, by the way, for reading the old books. But they are all in black and white. Just going to say that I love them. I think they're brilliant. And I have no problem reading them. But just for most of them, I'm thinking, looking at this, thinking, oh, I'll get that. They're all in black and white. So as long as that's something that doesn't bother you, go for it. Then, of course, if you've got Volume 1, you've got to get The Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2. Sorry, The Essential Spider-Man Volume 2. Contains over 20 issues of continuity. And this one covers Amazing Spider-Man Volumes 21 to 43. And Amazing Spider-Man Annual 2 and 3. And they are all printed in here in order of release. Again, all in black and white. Just... in case you were thinking. They are brilliant though. And they were part of a massive collection that they did. Sticking on Spider-Man for a minute, we have The Amazing Spider-Man by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. And this is the Penguin Classics Marvel Collection. And all of the books in here that are featured in here are actually printed in their original original full colours. And I do believe they actually reprint Amazing Fantasy 15 in here. yeah. And what's really nice about this version, I think, is that most versions of this would only reprint the Spider-Man portion of Amazing Fantasy 15, whereas this book actually reprints the whole of Amazing Fantasy 15. Most other books that have Amazing Fantasy 15 in them, like the Essential Spider-Man books, they literally just print the Spider-Man story from Amazing Fantasy 15. Of course they do. But this one they decided, okay, we're actually going to reprint the whole thing. And of course I also have the Marvel and DC comic book apps. Well, I'm going to be re-signing up to them because some things happened. I did have them, some things happened and I had to part ways, sort of not part ways, but temporarily sort of shut down my subscriptions to them. But as of next month I will be resubscribing to them. And on there they have Amazing Fantasy 15, and that was the first time on the Marvel Unlimited comic book app was the first time I'd actually read Amazing Fantasy 15. But then to actually get a kind of slightly physical copy of it that I can hold in my hand, and even this cover is based on Amazing Fantasy 15. So, oh, sorry, I didn't give a good crisp on. So yeah, it's a paperback. I then have another one of those in paperback, which is the Penguin Classics Marvel Collection, The Avengers by Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Roy Thomas, Don Hickey, John Buscema, and Sal Buscema. And again, all of the books we printed in here are in their full original colour. These actually are released in two different formats. These are the paperback versions of this. I've also got, I believe I got those, I got that one, the Avengers, now the Spider-Man one you just saw, so that one there I got on Amazon at a very good price. And then this one, and the last two Marvel books you're about to see, I got in Waterstones, again for a good price. And the first one is the Penguin Classics Marvel Collection Black Panther. These are what those books look like in hardback. So I am trying to collect more of these in hardback because I think they look gorgeous. And also they've got gold foil or gold leaf on the edges of the pages. And again, all of the stories are reprinted. Look, are reprinted in full colour. So yep, and of course on the back you also have this brilliant gold kind of image from one of the comic books. It's really nice. And the last in the Marvel books, I'm amazed there weren't actually more of these in already more books like this one in my collection, is the Penguin Classics Marvel Collection X-Men, which is purple for some weird reason, and has Professor X on the back. And again, just like with all the other ones in this range, all the actual comic books that are reprinted here are reprinted in colour. So, yep, that is X-Men. And I highly recommend those books because they do reprint some amazing, some amazing issues in those. I'm just going to split that pile half because it's not even bothering me to put a wobble on it. And last up, we have the DC pile. Starting with one that I got, again, in a charity shop for a very good price. And it is DC Comics Heroes, Volume 1, of course, based on the TV series of exactly the same name. Then we have Batman, A Death in the Family. All four collector's item issues in one volume. That's the story where Robin dies. And of course, it was actually put to a reader vote as to whether Robin lived or died. And he died. So, there's actually an interview in there with one of the writers or printers saying, "We didn't kill Robin, you did." Then I have Watchmen. I actually originally had a much bigger version of this, but unfortunately I lost that one when I moved house, and so I have replaced it with this one, which is small, but still in full colour and still perfectly readable. That was Alan Moore, wasn't it? Yeah, Alan Moore. Then we have a Jack Kirby collected edition. This is volume 1 of Jack Kirby's The Forever People, containing issues 1 through 11 of The Forever People by Jack Kirby. DC. And then we have, this is one I actually found in a little sort of out of the way store in Reading called Just Imagination Memorabilia or something like that. By the way, his older comic books, some of them are outrageously priced, so unless you're looking for stuff like what I'm about to show you, don't bother going there, because some of his comic books are, I mean, most of his comic books are quite reasonably priced, but some of the older stuff, like the 60s, once you get back to like 60s stuff, it becomes way over the top. But anyway, I found this, Superman, from the 30s to the 70s, and it's a collected edition of a load of very old Superman comics, including the very first appearance of Superman. But again, just like with the Spider-Man one, they are all printed in black and white, with only the first few pages being of the Superman's origin story actually being in colour. They're the only pages that are in colour, and it's only a few of them, and then it suddenly, on one page, I think that's possibly the one that's printed in full colour, but suddenly on one page, what was it, the whole of the origin story that's printed in colour? No, I didn't think it was. Suddenly on that page of his origin story, it jumps from colour to black and white. So, yeah, give them credit for that. They did put a few pages of the origin story in colour, but other than that, it's all black and white. But still good little oddity to have, and I believe they did a Batman version of that as well. And when this originally came out in the UK, by the way, £1.25. £1.25. And the guy was charging 30 quid for it. That's the original price. When was this published? £1972. It seems like it's a first edition or first impression from 1972, and it was charged at £1.25. And yet today that guy was trying to charge 30 quid for it, but he chopped in the price in half, so it was only 15. So that's all right. Next up, we have, this is again by included graphic novels in the title of this video, Batman: The Killing Joke by Alan Moore and Brian Bolland. And yes, this is my original copy. I haven't replaced this. Thank goodness I still had it when I moved out. And the last of these, finally, the last one of the video, is DC Comics graphic novel collection Justice League, formerly known as The Justice League. And this is DC Comics Presents issue 46. Right, volume 118, apparently this one is. Justice League, formerly known as The Justice League, originally published as formerly known as The Justice League, issues 1 through 6, September 2003 to February 2004. And it also contains DC Comics Presents number 46, originally published in June of 1982. And so that's that one. And that is it. That is all my graphic novels and collected editions. Excuse me. Now, I was going to, in this video, I was going to try and go into what I thought was the most cost-effective way of collecting comic books in our day and age. But that is a video but I think that is a subject that I have such a wide amount of theories on and such a lot to say about that I think I'll save that for another video. So I shall say thank you very much for watching. Until next time, be kind to one another, take care of one another, like what you like, love who you love, take it easy, and I'll see you in the next video.